Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Rush in the building. Promote my side hustle, Rush Enterprise. If you're in the state of New Jersey, you need armed guards or unarmed guards, call up my business line and I'll line it up. You heard? The bigger the contract, the more money we make together. Today I got a dope panel. You know what I mean? We're gonna get it popping. Yo, salute, salute, salute. Y'all, how y'all?
Everything good.
Doing good, man. Rush, you got the okay.
Word. Today we're gonna expound on the yeah, my bad, y'all. We're gonna expound on the Big Sean breakup. And you know what I mean? And yo, I wanna get y'all opinion on that, man. Like, yo, what's y'all thoughts on this breakup, man? This like a hot topic right now. It's breaking the internet right now. You heard? Talk to me.
I ain't even hear about it, bro. I didn't even know they broke up. I don't be following them like that. What was the reason?
Okay, so I did hear about the breakup, and keep in mind, I heard about it through what is it, Jason Black, and he was talking about it, and you know he went in hard as dick out here. Okay, so it's like, it was bad. Okay, it was bad.
What they break up over?
No, it's not that they it wasn't anything specific that they broke up over.
Okay.
It was just the fact that he said that he just couldn't make that last leap with her as far as like marriage, and even though they have a child together, he couldn't do it. But they've been together for a decade, like over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So
what we supposed to talk about? They
well, what,
they broke up.
what it is a lot of black people, especially black women, are online and they're saying that he wasted her time for 10 years and that he's representing the problem with, or let's say the trope that go along with black men to other races, that if you have a baby by a black man, he's just gonna string you along until whenever and then drop you baby and all. And this is what people are saying, and that's why Jason Black did the live talking about. Essentially, he wasn't defending Big Sean, but he was saying that Big Sean didn't waste her time because she wasn't the right type of woman for him. But my thing is, I think Jason Black is playing the 50 for real, because he's making the case that disgruntled black women are making, that if this wasn't the woman for you, right, because you don't trust her because of whatever reason, right, because when they met, she was married to somebody else, cool. Why would you put a baby in her and create a broken home, though, if she's not the one for you? So it's like, in a sense, yeah, you did waste her time. You wanted to get with her because she's a celebrity and she's, she got that mixed thing going on. And like most mixed couples, okay, like you become the deadbeat that most people assume black men are in these type of relationships. So even though I get it, like at some point we gotta look at her, but I see some content creators making content, but they're not actually arguing the counterpoint. They're just making it even harder, unbeknownst to them.
Yeah, no, because looking at it from Big Sean's perspective, I definitely see where it's like, if you ain't feeling somebody like that and you know it ain't gonna really go nowhere, then yeah, I agree. You should have put no kids on him. But I think you can't put the blame on just him, because for her to have a kid with him and them conversations, they come before the kid, because she already had a kid prior to that. That was his first one. Yeah. So it's just like, she should have known from having that prior child that it's like, okay, man, I got to take this next one more serious. So I'm not gonna have no kid until like we actually in like a marriage or something. So I think they both got to get the smoke equally.
She was married to her other child's father. She was married to him. She left him for Big Sean.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's like you should have, you had a solid marriage and all that. So obviously you ain't honor that commitment that much. And you jumped into a situation with a dude that like obviously didn't honor commitment. So it's like, you don't put your first family in jeopardy to go monkey branch, and then that shit fell. So it's like, now, you kind of look stupid in the whole situation.
But who said that Big Sean wasn't feeling her though? if he was, who said Big Sean wasn't feeling her though? If he wasn't feeling her, I don't agree with that. He should have put a baby in her. That's stupid to be wasted. But the thing is, I don't think he wasted her time by doing that. How?
Why you say that?
Because they was together. I don't think he waited because he didn't marry her.
Well, he said in an interview, and this is the only one that I've seen of him. He said in the interview that he's seen some things and there was trust issues, and he's almost seen some things in the beginning of their relationship or 10 years ago. And my thing is, I'm 43. I've been around the block a couple times, and I can tell you from my experience, men that they feeling you and they really trying to keep you to the point they putting a baby in you to get attached to you for 20 plus years. They trust me, if they want to marry you, they don't need 10 years. Like, they don't need 10 years.
Oh,
But
I know
he
they
wants to get married. He definitely wants to get married.
Yo,
He just don't
sure.
want
Here's
to get married to her.
the thing.
But that's the thing. If he wanted to get married, he's just probably trying to work through the issues they have first before he do that.
10 years?
Yeah, that's 10 years is a bit much, but I don't think he's wasting her time. I don't, because they should break up. Then they should talk about it with him, and and that's what's going on.
Here's my thoughts on Big Sean. Like, I think Big
I can't hear
Sean
nothing. Rush, your shit breaking up.
That he doesn't want a wife. Can y'all hear me better now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo, here's the thing. I think. Okay, cool. I think Big Sean is hesitating to wife her up because he stole her from a well-established producer. You know what I mean? So the whole time she was married to the producer, like he was smashing her. So I think he's aware that, like, yo, she's for the streets and he not trying to wife her up. It's just that
he's Russ, I gotta give you some pushback, Russ.
To her that he keep prolonging the relationship. You know what I mean?
But Russ, I gotta give you some pushback. He shouldn't be with her then. He shouldn't be with her for 10 years if that's the case. Like, now, yeah, he's wasting her time. I gotta say he wasting her time then.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If you think that, if you say that he just wanted to hit or whatever. I don't agree with that.
I gotta give y'all some pushback though.
Like oh
my bad.
All of us dudes on this panel right now have dealt with an attractive chick and probably didn't want to cut her off right away because the box was good and she was looking all right, nigga. Know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna have a baby with her.
We will prolong a relationship because of that. Know what I mean?
Yeah, but to have a baby with her, bro, nah.
I believe that was by accident. It was by accident. No. You probably didn't mean it, my nigga. You know what I mean?
Running up in her raw is not an accident. Busting up in a chick raw is not an accident.
Nah,
not at all.
I can't agree with Big Sean on this one, bro.
I do gotta give y'all some pushback though, because you cannot waste the whole time.
A lot of times, dudes, you know what I mean?
No.
Not bro. 10 years? Nah.
No.
But I'm saying, because like they was in a relationship. So when they met, because I looked at his age, he's 37 now. So date that back 10 years, 27. He's on that ignorant shit where it's like, oh, I stole homegirl from so and so. Now he's probably done grown up now because people starting to have these conversations, get pushback on these behaviors, and be like, man, if a female stepped out of her marriage, that's not cool. So maybe he might be looking at it, from that perspective of getting that growth. Like you said, it's like what Rush was saying, it's messing up his head now because he's realizing like, that's messed up if you were messing with somebody that was in a marriage and shit. So it could be some guilt probably.
But for 10 years, no, I can't agree with this because you're not just for a girl you just want to mess around with for 10 years. Nah, it had to be more serious than that. Because I don't care how good she
had a relationship.
Yeah, that's what I said. But Russ was saying like it was a chick that he just wanted to smash or whatever.
He tripped on that. Nah, they was in a relationship.
Yeah, for 10 years, you don't just want to smash a chick for 10 years, bro. Nah, it had to be a little more than that. And if he knew that he just wanted to smash to put a baby in her, that's crazy. I can't agree with that.
He just had the baby with
her.
But
I think he probably had a kid and wanted to stick around.
I'm saying like, Yeah,
he just had the
and like
baby.
yo, they've been having like a toxic relationship. Like they've been on and off like for the past 10 years, man. So he probably like yo, he ain't trying to wife her up because yo, she toxic too, nigga. You know what I
Then
mean?
they
A lot
gotta
of
leave.
drama with her. You know what I mean? She got, you know what I mean? She got 2 kids now. You know what I mean?
Then they wasting each other's time,
You know,
basically.
and the first kid is not.
Okay.
Yeah, I just looked up the
I
kid's age. So
mean,
the kid is like 2 years old.
I would
So
agree
damn. So
that
they
yo,
just had the
Shorty's
kid
feeling him
recently.
more than he's feeling her. Yeah.
It sounds like they wasting each other's
So it's
time to
like,
me.
yo, I mean, yo, I mean, yo, I mean, yeah, I guess,
Like,
man.
what
You
are
know,
they
and this is the
doing?
big
Like,
talk in the internet
it's,
right now, man. Like, yo, this is
they both got to be held accountable because they both wasted. It's not they wasting each other's time; they wasting their own
yeah,
time, basically.
Or could it be? Could it be that everything is going well? And if I remember correctly, in other interviews, marriage was not an option, and that's not where they want to go. And where they're at was fine. And all of a sudden, now somebody wants to get married.
That could be the case too. See, I didn't follow their relationship, so I
Yeah,
don't
she
know
gave him the
much about.
ultimatum. She was
Oh,
pushing marriage. She was giving them ultimatums.
see,
Okay,
see, I don't know all the dynamics of their relationship. I ain't follow their relationship like that.
because when you
But
go
but
in
but
10
wait,
years,
but can I say something really quickly? I remember what Stan is saying about how at first they were on television saying their relationship isn't defined by marriage. I do remember that vaguely. However, for a female to go from that to looking for marriage, that means that something changed her mind in his behavior about marriage. And if I'm correct, the only thing that would change my mind if I decided that I don't need marriage is I see him doing little slick shit that makes me feel like, oh no, what you're not gonna do is have me out here on no we married pretend while you doing that fuck shit. No, you gonna either put a ring on my finger or we ain't doing shit because no, I can't see myself being on some pretend marriage shit with you and you acting like that. Because there are some couples that they don't recognize like anything other than their personal relationship as what would be a legit quote unquote marriage. However, at the end of the day, to say publicly that you don't need marriage and then change your mind, that happened because of a circumstance, not because she just woke up one day and decided no, and she got a child by him. It's like if you know you went as far as to get married, which and that's what most of these red pill dudes say. I want to be able to say her ex baby daddy was her husband because I don't want to deal with a baby mama. And this is what I was saying. Just because she was married don't mean she ain't a hoe. Like it don't mean that. Just because she
Yeah,
had
I agree
kids
with
in marriage don't mean she not a hoe. So it's like she came out of a marriage to fuck around with you because in truth that marriage wasn't about her virtual side. It was about the fact that it might have been politically and financially expedient. But at the end of the day, a hoe gonna be a hoe. Now she go and get with him and have a baby, not worried about marriage coming out of a marriage. So basically, was she scarred from being married? No, because now she want to be married. I'm telling you, something happened between them to make them feel that way. But this goes to the greater point, and I don't want to harp on what I don't necessarily know too much. But the greater point is when people say, I don't want a state recognized marriage, right? They're saying that out of fear of divorce, not out of the benefit of marriage. Because at the end of the day, marriage is only marriage when it can be enforced, period. The marriage is not you in a relationship. That's not a marriage. Marriage is not that. A marriage is a contract that says, hey, you got duties to take care of. You got people looking at you a certain way. So nah, like they was doing pretend, and that pretend on some more spiritual shit. That ain't that. Nah, people ain't spiritual enough to say I got a spiritual relationship with you. Nah, you ain't grounded in your religion anytime at all for you to be talking about, well, I don't need enforcement on a marriage. I don't need a contract agreement for something that's heavily based on a contract. You don't know yourself enough to be in those circumstances like that. This is why I hate when people tell me something, we don't need marriage. Our relationship is more than enough. 99% of motherfuckers need enforcement, period.
Man, I was just looking at her dating history, boy, and yeah, Big Sean was like, he definitely was on some fucked up shit. But I mean, I think he's like putting the pieces together. He's like, I don't know if I can wife that. She was with Bow Wow. Orion, Childish Gambino, the producer dude that stole her with. So yeah, she got a, like a sketcher past.
But keep in mind, for 10 years, they was on the spiritual enlightenment of a relationship. So
Them niggas was on weed. Stop playing.
But when spirituality meets reality, so it wasn't a waste of time. A baby did come out of it, and you guys had 10 years together. So it is what it is. When you put an ultimatum on the guy, it don't go well ever. It doesn't. So, and she tattooed his face on her body or something like that. The name. It's like, yo, like there's no waste. There's accountability here. Like, you knew what he was doing. You liked it. You had a baby. Y'all went around doing a tour saying y'all spiritually connected and don't need marriage, and you shopped that around to where you influenced a lot of people into that spiritual relationship crap. And this is what we have.
Yeah, I mean, the baby 2 years old. So... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying it didn't benefit her in the long run, and that's really what matters. It's like, if it now that she's 37, right? She's getting older. Her money getting thinner. Her status is not what it used to be. Like you said, she's known to have been in relationships with different guys, and that don't mean but per se she's a hoe. But she already know how the industry is, and she can't date no dude that ain't in the industry for at least from her status standpoint. So it's like the older she is, with the more kids she is and stuff, it's like with the more people she's been in a relationship with. And keep in mind, being able to say your baby daddy is like a future type nigga, you don't get status. Your baby daddy being a future type nigga, like that's not what you get. So it's like it didn't benefit her, because at the end of the day, they weren't living as husband and wife. I know that. They weren't living as husband and wife, and she didn't get the benefit of saying, okay, when we break up, you see me saying, my lifestyle is still being supported because I gave into that relationship. That ain't what's happening here. And in fact, her next relationship will probably take longer, and it'll probably be less less of a stronghold in her life, because what man want to come behind that nigga? Like, seriously, ain't like he coming behind Barack Obama or some shit. Like, he coming behind that nigga. Like, nah, I ain't fucking with it. So she didn't benefit at all. Like, it seemed like a benefit because she thought that he was being faithful to her. But listen, if a dude is faithful to you because he looking for another chick, and I heard rumors that he already done found somebody else, meaning they been broke up. It's like after 10 years, he already know that if he fucking with somebody else. It's like, girl, at this point, sure, he was wrong and he was wasting her time if he knew what the fuck was going on from the beginning. But at some point, I gotta hold her more accountable for wasting her own time. I was in a circumstance like that. I wasted my own time.
That's what I was saying. It seems like a lot of dysfunction, and they're just wasting their own time by being together.
Well, because and I'm glad Oshun said that, and that's why he's a fuck up. So let's put that on the table, man, because we ain't gonna let him go unscathed. But when you look at her, like, it's like, man, you left a marriage cheating. Now it don't work out with Big Sean, and like he put a baby on you. It's like, man, that looks bad. So a dude that got his shit together, he's gonna already look at you like, damn, you don't honor marriage, but you let this other guy, you jumped out of that. Then you got with this next guy, and he put a baby on you without a marriage. Like, man, you kind of chaos. So when you're looking at it from that perspective, it's like, man, there's double standards in society, man. And I think, women got to start kind of like analyzing that. I think that's the biggest takeaway, because it's kind of like she's a high class Cardi B, because she's going through the same thing where she got with Stephon Diggs, and it's like, man, he got like 3 or 4.
Wait a minute. So are we saying that? Are we saying that Janine Eichel is a bird? Because I kind of feel where
high class bird
coming from, man. Like, she has bird-like attributes, man. I mean, she's been passed around a few times. Now, I mean, from Omarion to Orion and etc. You know what I mean? She cheated on her husband while she was with the producer with Big Sean, and Big Sean's like, "Yo, I ain't gonna wife you up because you a bird." I mean,
Yeah, but he shouldn't.
that's the vibe
But
I'm getting. I mean,
that's the thing, Russ. He shouldn't be with her for 10 years though. Like that's the problem. That's what the problem
Yeah, I
occurs.
agree with that. And he's a sucker
Like,
for messing with a married woman too. So that's why I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
he ain't shit. So it's like two ain't shit people. Like this is the fallout of that.
yeah.
But she definitely a
And when
high class bird.
yeah, when you a woman in the public eye, you got to make better choices too, because everybody see your life and they see everything that goes down with you with these men. So it just tarnishes your image.
Here's a bigger question, and
Mhm.
for both of them, right?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me just say. Go ahead, Stan. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the bigger question. You have spent 10 years as a singer and no album. Let's talk about that. Like, it's business first, and you didn't handle your business. And I think this is across
Right.
anybody dealing with a celebrity that, I hate to say this because, I got Dominican and Haitian uncles. You don't ever want to be in a relationship and act like a house cat.
Shout out to Stan being miscellaneous.
No, just like you just laying
Right.
around food and just laying around the house looking pretty. And it's like, you had a responsibility. You already divorced. You already had a child. You said you're a singer. You're messing with Big Sean. You should be putting out hits. You should always establish your career. And that's just for anybody. If you're in this industry and you got a chance to make it, like, don't be a pet in a relationship because it don't end well for you. Now that you're older and you're going to get replaced by something younger, well, you was already dating him when he was 27. You was older than him, so you already had a grasp on relationships. So
I
you
don't
went ahead and
believe.
you jumped yourself into this thing, and y'all went around saying it was all spiritual. And again, this is not me. There's no feelings, no emotions. There's no pills, no red pills, no gray pills, none of it. But you shopped it out, and it didn't work out. I'm not going to be mad because for him, it's a learning experience. For her, it's another failed relationship. So,
Mm.
so like, like it's, if you're in the business, you got to be careful and not waste your time and waste your relationships because the only thing that's going to be open for her is what, love and hip hop,
She
reality
gonna end up
shows.
with Ray J.
Mhm.
God, no.
Yes, she is.
I'm calling
Yes.
kids for Ray J. I'm calling CPS. I'm calling CPS. Them kids need. I'm calling CPS.
Therefore, Big Sean's first problem in the first place is dating a girl in the industry. I wouldn't do that. That's the problem right there.
But he always dated women in the industry. That's what
That's
he
the
liked.
problem. You never date no woman in the industry.
But that's who understands his lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, but
because think about it, right? With Janine
those relationships
Iso,
never work.
No, that sometimes it do
yeah,
work,
like
but the problem is with him.
Very rare.
Look, if you look up his dating history, right? This is the longest he's been in one, right? It's 10 years. He dated quite a few women in the industry. It's like that's what he's attracted to. He's attracted to singers, musicians. That's his type. Um, this is just if anybody gonna learn anything from these type of relationships, if you really like marriage and you really want a relationship, like stop playing house.
And stop dating
Yeah.
women in the industry.
Yeah, just stop playing house. Please don't sell this spirituality BS to anybody because you don't believe it yourself. Because you actually
Right.
want a contract. Just get the contract and then stop, and just stop it. Just don't.
Let me.
You already know the
Can I
guy
ask
ain't
y'all a
gonna
question?
do it. Just stop it. Just move on.
Yeah, let
But
me ask
don't.
y'all a question because it seems like I looked at the kid's age and the kid is 2 years old, so they've been together for 10 years, so they didn't have the kid till fairly recent. You think maybe it was just like the typical stuff that comes with like kids that maybe broke them up? Because sometimes people be in that fairy tale status until the responsibilities come. It's like the kid, the parenting. You think maybe that could have been the
No,
issue?
because SJ, people asked him about are you going to marry her now? That was the story 2 years ago, and she got in there defending him, and they're like, "Oh no, what we have is more real."
Oh, okay, I got you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you push that narrative out here, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Well, he dumped me and he won't marry me." I'm just like, "Yo, like which one was it?" Because if you want marriage, you just say that, and if they're gonna waste, quote unquote, waste your time, leave. But you didn't leave, so the deal was good. You couldn't imagine somebody else having it. You're staying inside the house. Your other kid is there too, so you already got a makeshift family, kind of like the Brady Bunch. And then you gave birth to a kid for him, so you do have something that's there. So there is some kind of buy-in. But under no means anybody a victim in this. Y'all built your castle on the sand, and now it's crumbling.
Yeah, and women
Welcome
got
to
to stop saying
America.
they don't want marriage too when they do, because all women want marriage. They got to stop saying that too, because a guy gonna take it serious. When you say you don't want marriage, and you can't say later on down the line, now I want marriage after you said that, because that's not what y'all agreed on.
Yeah, because like there's one thing about us as men that we have to be. I hope women listen. Right? We're like dogs. How you train us, that's how you're going to keep us.
Yep.
Trying to throw in a new program ain't going to work. It's a horrible thing, but I'm going to save y'all some money on therapy. Like if you have a man, you got to train him the way that you need him to be. And if marriage is your thing, you got a deadline, stay on the neck, and get out.
You said
Yeah.
train?
Yeah.
What you mean by train?
No, and I agree. I definitely agree with you saying about
Cut
that.
his
But see, not too many women.
Cut his mic
know
off.
that.
Oh, it's true. We know we do anything for a Scooby snack.
Not anything.
But see, but Stan, how is it that a woman you saying don't put demands on a man, but then stick to your deadline? How are those two things different?
Well, the things like okay. So if it's not real, then I need you gonna lose. Like, okay, guess what? We're not going anywhere. I gotta go. Losing something is like, okay, I'm gonna lose her, and do I really want her? And then you go ahead and you marry her. That's the only way it's going to work out. But to make a demand like there's a child, it doesn't work. To go ahead and say you walk into it, everything is going well, and then all of a sudden, you now you want marriage, and it's like, what are you talking about? It's been the same thing, Groundhog Day, for 10 years. It hasn't been anything greater or anything less. It's just been the same for 10 years. So, yeah. So when
You think
get
she
caught up into that,
probably wanted the baby to like keep him?
the baby, look, the baby ain't gonna do nothing. Like she only got one baby. Now, if they had another child together, and then another one, just like the guy that was in the Pop the Balloon with 12 kids, and he divorced his wife, it's like, man, go back home to your wife and your kids, sir. What you don't need to date. Because when you have like that type of dynamic, you need to go back home and figure things out, and don't be out in these streets, because the dating pool is already dirty. So we don't need any more of y'all coming out here. So work out the marriage, work out the relationship. But for Sean, let's be honest here, he probably found another muse. That's another danger. Date a man in the music industry. They find a muse, and then what's the other stuff? Need to be creative and influence, and yeah. So if not for that life, go back and please go date a square, and just know that you're the creative one, and just stay there. That's all.
Yeah, it sounds like she was a placeholder girlfriend. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's the words I couldn't think. A placeholder, and a lot of times women don't
I can't hear
see
her.
that they
Damn.
are. Can you can't hear me?
Yeah,
Can
we
you
can
hear me?
hear her.
I
Oh,
We can hear
can't.
you though.
oh
Dang, I
no.
gotta.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you, Ocean.
Okay, I was saying that placeholder, a lot of times, like women have a hard time, let's say, differentiating between being a placeholder and a man taking his time to figure out if you and him will work out long term. it's like that they have that heart that's a problem. And honestly, I'm not gonna put blame on nobody for that. I'm just gonna say that needs to be highlighted more upfront, and in terms of conversation and, let's say, acknowledgement. Like, I think more women need to acknowledge that, hey, if you want to be a placeholder until a better chick come along, you continue to just sit in a relationship and do nothing and essentially be a pet, and not put any, let's say, goals on that relationship in terms of where you want to be and why. Like, be a placeholder, because when you now Stan, I heard what you said, but I honestly think that men will still, a lot of men, not most, but a lot of men will say, you're still putting a demand on me if you're going to break the relationship up if I don't meet a certain standard. That's a silent demand. Honestly, it is. But see, men don't like the demand, but at the same time, women won't get nowhere without doing the demand. So it's a double-edged sword for real. And honestly, it's like, I mean, women want to work with men. That's why they allow men to fuck on them for years on end and think about if they want to keep fucking on them. Like, women are really trying, but at the end of the day, right, women get a bad rap because women are told that they initiate the most divorces, when in truth, it's not that they initiate the most divorces. They're just the only ones with the ability to go to the courthouse. But relationships are broken up at a 50-50 rate. Men don't stay with women more than women stay with men. And if we want to talk about infidelity is not more on
I
either
gotta give you some. I gotta give you some pushback. I gotta give you some pushback, Oshun. Like, a lot of times, men will remain in a marriage unhappy because they are scared to deal with the repercussions coming from the court system.
No, that's not
So,
true. That's not true. Men
uh,
don't remain in nothing. Hold on, hear me
yo,
out.
it's true.
Men don't
It's true,
remain. No,
Oshun.
no. Men do not remain in relationships where they not getting no sex. They not getting no food cooked
What?
for them. They not getting no shit. Hold on, I'm not finished. What they do is they keep the relationship, but then they entertain other shit elsewhere. Why do you think a whole song was made out of a Rolling Stone? Why do you think like for real? Like, why do you think we got a whole culture within the
That's
African American
Oshun. That's what
community
I'm saying,
of
though.
having a whole family?
That's what
Hold
I'm
on,
saying.
hold on. What?
He'll be.
Wait. Hold on. You're not hearing the whole thought. What I'm saying is we have a whole culture around black men having families outside their wives, not girlfriends. Families outside their wives, like bunches of them. So men don't just sit in relationships and be faithful and don't do nothing. No, most men, not every single one, but most men, if they gonna stay in that relationship because it's financially expedient, they gonna be getting happy elsewhere. That's just how it is, and we have a whole culture to prove that.
Hey, wait, I gotta say something. Lola, you gave a great point. What's the name of this singer that we're talking about? How you say her name?
Cool.
Janae Aiko.
Janae.
Janae Aiko.
Could we also say that her husband was a placeholder and she used him as a placeholder till she found Big Sean?
Absolutely.
We
Great point,
we
Yeah,
we
Sam.
yeah.
could we could argue that, but see, the problem with arguing that is goes back to what Jerk said. It's a double standard out here. You can't technically, as a woman, hold a man as a placeholder, because each one you get, your value going
What?
down. So it's like for you to say, I'm with this guy right here until a better one come. Meanwhile, the one that's coming is seeing you as less because you got a placeholder. Like, it don't work the same way with men. Men can have a placeholder for girlfriend because of the positioning that
No,
they play.
I gotta
But
disagree.
Girlfriends, no,
husband,
I don't. That
Women,
ain't true.
women have
but she
more
left.
placeholder boyfriends than men have girls. That's not even close.
No, you're not understanding politically what I'm saying. What I'm saying, you could also have a guy, 5 guys waiting in the wind, right? That's cool,
Most
right?
women
That's
do.
fine. That has that. But when you say a placeholder, you cannot have a placeholder, right? When that placeholder is the reason why you can't get another one, because you got a placeholder. So a man can
No,
have a chick, and then the next chick he get with be better because he had a placeholder. It don't work the
but
same way around with women. It don't.
but the men can barely get one chick. Most men don't have the
Okay,
options to have a placeholder.
look at Janae Aiko. She had a placeholder for 10 years, and now the dude that she
But
want
you
to
talk
be
about
with can't be. Hold on, the dude that she was with, right? She placeholdered him for 10 years, and now the dude that she want to be with can't fuck with her because she had a placeholder for 10 years with another nigga. This is what I'm saying. It's not the same. It's a double standard for real. Men can do that. Women can attempt to do that, but it's not to their benefit.
I see what she's saying. Say if it worked out with Big Sean, then you could be like it was a placeholder. But since like that went left, it's tarnishing her image. So now she's fucked pretty much.
not to
Because think
most
about
men
it, the
though.
next
'Cause
guy
most
that
men
come
don't-
along, like
Not
she
to
has
most
like
men
those
though, because
prior.
most men, it tarnishes her image for the men she actually wants. But most men still date her.
Yeah, but she
What kind of men is she gonna date though?
Yeah, you're right. For the men that she wanted, tarnishes her image.
Probably
So
suckers
right
and
now, right,
simps. Yeah.
because she had a
Yeah.
placeholder, now she gotta choose from a pool of men she don't even want. So you see how I'm saying having a placeholder don't work the same for women? It just don't.
No, it doesn't work. But I'm saying women have more placeholder boyfriends than men have girls. I'm not saying if it work or not. I'm just saying that a lot of women they have backup men. Men don't have that.
It's not a
that's a
backup
fact,
man.
though.
If you got 5 placeholder niggas in the background of your life in your marriage, right? And they all know you married, but they all know that you got somebody on the side, i.e. them. How many of those dudes gonna take you serious when they get around and putting their penis in you?
Oh, but that's a different argument. I ain't say they're gonna take you serious. I'm
No.
just saying they have them.
Just to have niggas willing to fuck you is not a flex at all for a woman. Now for men, or obviously it's the other way around. It just is. So it's like
It
she
is.
got a placeholder, and her placeholder is the reason why she can't get what she wants. So it's like to say, oh well, you got a guy waiting on another guy. Yeah and no. You waiting on another guy but there's no point, because once they see that you like that, they're gonna treat you like the hoe that you is. Period.
I don't think most men would though. I think most men would still accept her
Why you think that?
because they
Oh
simps.
no, because you know why? There's one group of men that will do it.
What's
A
that?
lot of it's a huge
No,
group.
there's a one major group. They got a lot of money. NBA players.
Oh.
Yeah, NBA players definitely wife it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that though. I don't know. I can't explain that.
Yeah, but that's a redeemer. He needs to
But I
get
think
an
most
NBA
men
player.
would, because most men don't. Their standards are so low. Most men don't have standards. They just want anything.
No, that's because the average woman is something they don't want. Here's the thing: there's equal women to go around, but the average woman is not what the average man wakes up trying to dream about. That's not it. So it's like, yeah, they will take whatever, but what they want is not the average woman. They want the top grade women
I gotta
like
give you some
Janae
pushback,
Aiko.
Oshun. I gotta give you some pushback, man. Like, yo, most of these chicks, they ignore the average dude. You know what I mean?
Say again?
Like, they get overlooked a lot, man, you know? No, I said,
Say again?
the average dude always get overlooked by the average female. You know what I mean? Because the female's looking for, you know what I mean?
She said that though. She said that,
yeah,
Russ.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the people, the average people don't want the average people. They want what's not average. So it's like everybody aiming for what's not average.
I
And
don't
so
know. Not for
therefore,
men. Not for men.
you don't get what you want.
No, I think men have realistic standards and they date more on their level. They don't.
Yeah, that's my pushback for Oshun. Like, yo, most dudes,
they'll date the average woman.
Highlight the regular chick. We ain't got no problem. But it's the females that's looking for the top 5.
It's almost better to highlight the regular chick.
It's the dynamic with women, because ugly woman can get dick faster than a ugly man can get pussy. We know that. So to say, well, men they holler at the average chicks because they have to. Average female don't necessarily have to take whatever she get from the average man, because she got access to sex and resources just because she got a vagina, unlike him and his penis. So it's like it's harder to gain a woman as an average man than it is for a woman. So when we say, well, men are better because they take what they can get, That's no, they take what they can get because at the end of the day, they don't have the leverage to do something else. But if they did have the leverage to do something else, like women, they would be doing just that.
But they don't. You can't say what they would do. I'm just saying what it is they don't.
I can show you that human behavior is more predictable than the weather, okay?
Yeah, but the top 10% men can do that.
I'm not talking about the top 10%. What I'm saying is you only can get what you can get, right? Period.
Mm-hmm.
But if I know that your mentality is what you want is not what you can get, if I change the reasons why you can get what you can get, right? Then what you're going to do is going to change too. Your behavior is going to change. That's why women, let's say very, very pretty women, their behavior is a lot different than women who are average looking to a below average looking. The behavior is different because your resources and your ability to garner what you want is different. So you act different. So when it comes to, for instance, very, very attractive men, right? Depending on how they grew up and depending on what they had access to financially, their attitude is a lot different about women than the average man that had to get it out the mud. It's a whole lot different towards women. They will wait till they 55 years old before they settle down versus a man who is below average looking. He can't wait till he's 59 to just settle down and pick one. He might not be able to pick shit. So what I'm saying is I can show that people act based on different factors. And that's just what it is. So I don't give men more credit than women because, well, they pick from the pool that they can pick from. Women do the same thing. They might dream about, 666, but at the end of the day, they going to take what the fuck they can get.
No, but the top men still pick average women though.
I mean,
I don't think the top men are picking average women. I think they're picking women.
They're not dating supermodels. Their wife is pretty average.
I'm not negating that. Listen to me. It's not that they're not picking supermodels. They're picking women that have better qualities. Therefore, they can do that. A man that got money, right? He got all the women looking at him. And so their looks is not what he has to judge from. He's judging from what's beyond their looks because he got everybody looking at him that's pretty. So now let's look to see which pretty one is the nicest.
No,
A dude that don't get women hollering at him at all is looking for something that will satiate him at least physically. That's why men put up with these chicks because they look good. They don't got their choice in women when they finally get something that look good. And versus the opposite way. I'm telling you now, it ain't so much that they pick average women. They just pick the women that they have the ability to pick from because they have so many women looking at them, which is what they really want, a nice woman. That's it.
Yeah, but those are still the average woman. The woman won't pick the average guy, no matter what.
So if you okay, so let me flip it. The average women that these above average men are picking, right, are average women. So did not those average women want above average men?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the way nature thinks it should be.
Average just by looks.
It was just a conglomerate, like money, looks, the whole nine. Most people want above average people, period. Average women want above average men. And if above average men is choosing average women, you're saying that nature is correct in however it falls.
What you mean?
You just said that above average men, right? The top tier men are choosing average women. So
yeah,
average
that's what
women.
You're saying that they're still. You're saying that men have the same standards as men. I mean, women.
No, I did not say that.
Are you talking about just average versus looks wise? That's it, right?
Look, yeah.
Okay. So you're saying like the guys that are at the top that choose average women, they're actually not really average. It's like they're looking at the other qualities they bring to the table.
That's what I'm saying. The woman, yeah, as far as looks, I'm talking about women. They don't choose average for nothing. That's not their standard to choose average. But she's saying men.
Hold on. You're making two separate contradictory statements. In one breath, you're saying above average men pick average women. That's correct, right? So it's nothing wrong with it.
In general, I'm saying men in general settle for average.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Listen to a thought before you respond. Like process it first. You're saying, and I'm not lying on you, that above average men pick. That's what they want, average women.
All men.
And that's fine.
All
Okay,
men.
no, I'm not talking about all men. I ain't talking about all men.
No,
Don't over
all men are
like
I'm
that.
saying all men
But
though.
all men are not the same, just like all women are not the same. I just prove with evidence that that's not the case. We're
No.
talking about above average men. Above average men are not operating like low on the totem pole men. They not. I
They pick
promise
an
you that.
average woman, yes. They all men will settle for average women.
Sir, I take more dick than you'll ever take in your life. Okay, I'm telling you what I know. What I'm
I'm
saying right
telling
now
you,
is you made a statement about the above average men picking average women. You said that. I didn't say that. You made that
yes,
comparison.
that's
And
a
that's
fact.
fine. Hold on. Okay. So how can you turn around and act like average women, right? Is something wrong with them for wanting above average men?
I
Like
didn't say
how
nothing wrong with
it's the
them. That's
same
not the
thing.
argument. That's
It's
not
the
the
same
argument. You
thing.
said that's not the argument. You're
That I
going on
think
a
that
whole
is the
different
argument.
topic. You said that
I think you're making that.
average men only settle. You said they won't what you said about you comparing them to women, and you saying that woman and you basically saying they date the same when they don't.
I didn't say they date the same. That's different.
You're-
I said that if they both are human, and human behavior is based on their resources and their ability to garner what they want. If you
but you're saying
change that right there, they will
the
act
average
different.
man only wants the top woman, and they don't.
Let
They
me
don't
ask
both.
you something, right? Let me ask you something. The difference between what you want and what you will settle for is what?
But I'm just saying they're not settling. That's
No,
what they
no, no.
want.
Answer the question. Answer the question. I'm not saying what you're saying. What's the difference between what you want versus what you're gonna settle for? What's the difference?
I don't know what you're asking. Like what you want, what you
Circumstances.
settle for.
So you don't know. You don't understand what I'm asking you.
I don't know what you want, what you stand for. I'm just saying men want the average woman. I'm not saying
I'm not
woman.
asking you about men. I asked you just about the difference between the words. What is the difference between what you want versus what you will settle for? What's the difference? What differentiates those, at least those two words to you?
I don't. When you settling, you settling because that's all you can get.
Right.
But
Reality.
Okay.
I'm saying, but if men could get better, they still will go for the average woman. You're saying they won't. You're
No, no,
saying they're
no. What you're
settling.
not
They're
gonna
not
do, what
settling.
you're not gonna do, what you're not gonna do is tell me I can't say what they will do because I don't have proof, right? And then now you sit and make the same argument just in a different way. You can't do that.
No, but you're saying that the men are settling. They're not settling. That's what they want. You're saying that they're settling for the average chick. No, they want the average chick. They're
Okay.
not settling
I
for
have
it.
never, and let me tell you something. I've dealt with more men than you have. I have never had a man tell me that what he want, right, is a woman that don't have no curves. I ain't never heard a man wake up and say he don't want a woman with no ass, no
An average
tits,
woman can
no
have
nice
curves.
face, no nice feet, no nice. I ain't never heard no man wake up and say that shit out his mouth.
We
However,
just
I've seen
we just
men.
did a podcast
I
about
want to
not
Hello,
speak
dating
to
the
the
H,
not
Ys, and
asking for
Tens.
jobs.
sir, be quiet for a second, okay? I'm not talking about you personally, so don't get in your feelings with
Oh
me about
man.
you personally. What I'm saying is I've never, okay, heard a man wake up and say, "Hey, I don't want a woman that in all these different things." However, I have seen plenty of men with women that don't have the things that they actually want. Now, so the question is, do men want what they want or don't they want what they want? And here's the thing, why aren't you trying to strive for what you desire? That don't even make sense when it comes to how nature operates. People and things and nature strives towards what is more desirable, period. But if you're not striving for what's desirable, that's because there's a reason for that. So therefore it goes to the point that you will only get, not you only like want, you will only receive what you have the ability to get. That is a non sequitur. We don't need to argue about that. So I don't need to argue what men will pick, period. I know what they do pick, and what they do pick is based on their current circumstance, period.
No, that's not
Like for
true.
instance,
We just
right here on this panel, Jerk right here was on another panel with me, and he made it clear he don't date broke bitches. And the reason why he don't date broke bitches is because he don't got to. And he said that like I don't gotta date a chick that don't make 100K. I got my pick of chicks
That's a
that's
fact.
on that level. So at the end of the day, right? At the end
I'm
of the
allergic to
day,
broke
he's
hoes.
telling you, he's telling you that his status says that I don't have to pick from the bottom. I can pick from the top. Y'all got to pick from the bottom. I get to pick from something else. So this is just a hierarchy of men that we see and that we have to accept just in general. So I'm not
And
saying
also,
that you're wrong in terms of where you're coming from, but on the ground itself, let's not give credit as if somebody deserves credit for picking average when in fact that's the only choice they had.
Well, hold on.
So
Can I ask
I'm saying
for
when they
famous?
don't even. I'm saying when they have a choice, they pick average. Not when they don't have a choice. There's
Oh
billionaires
my
that
God.
dated chicks that's way less than them. Like I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, so
So
okay.
famous, real
All
quick.
right.
Famous, can I ask you a question? So you're kind of looking at it from a sense of like, say a man does have options and he sees a girl, maybe she's average in looks, but she has a lot of different qualities. So you're saying like men are not just married to our preferences. Like we might have a preference, but we're open-minded to like
Yes,
accept what's
exactly.
good. Okay.
Yeah,
I could agree with that.
That's why
that's
we
not.
here right now talking about a man that had a preference that was better than a woman that would cheat on her husband. That's why we here. Oh, okay. I just wanted to bring it back. I just wanted to bring it back.
or could it be she was a trophy? He got her from somebody else, and she was a trophy.
But see, that
Yeah.
goes against the narrative, Stan. That goes against the
But
narrative.
We just had
different.
a
But
whole.
remember,
We
like,
just had a
but
whole
that's
podcast about not dating 8, 9s, and 10s. So how does
what?
men?
As if.
Yeah,
Well, I think
man.
there's two
Well,
camps of guys, because I think
here's
both
the
of you
thing,
guys are right.
Ocean,
Because
right?
there's a group of guys, man, like they
I
definitely
don't want
like
no 9s and 10s. Like I don't. That's not settling just because I don't want it. Like that's not settling. Who said I don't think? I don't desire the 5, 6, and 7s. Like
Look,
that makes no sense.
here's the thing, right?
Wait, stop
Like,
playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Ocean, let me talk now. Let me.
That's like the women that said they like medium ugly men.
Here's the thing,
They
right?
desire medium ugly men.
Who said that?
A lot of women.
Yo,
Yeah, there's a lot of women
here's the
that do
thing,
say
right?
that.
What is?
Oshun, there are some women they will
Most
not.
dudes,
They won't.
It's most women. They date
most dudes from
monsters.
my demographic will not wife up a 9 or a 10 because they know she's always gonna be going. You know what I mean? She's active, man. So a lot of times a dude will seek like an adjustable 7. She could be a 6 or a 5. She put on that makeup, put on that, you know what I mean, the nice gear and all that. So be
And that's
a
not
decent
settling.
7.
And that's
You know what I
not
mean? That's
No,
not
settling. That's what
settling.
he
That's
desires.
hey,
that's what
Rush,
we
let me
choose
tell you
because
something, right? Hey, Rush, let me tell you something, and I know where you're going with that. I know where you're going, but let me tell you something, right? I was told by a dude, or two dudes that I've been in a relationship with, that the reason why they don't pick, they got their choice of women to pick 9s or 10s, right? Because two of them was 7-figure and 8-figure guys. So they said, yeah, I got my choice, but the reason why I don't choose the above average looking women is not because they gonna be on the go, but rather they told me they don't want to deal with the attention that they would get from other men and
yo,
what
we
they would
talked
have to
about
deal
that on the
with
last
out of
stream.
other
Yeah,
men. Hold on,
yes,
but
because
wait,
dealing with
that's
all right,
not
go ahead, go ahead.
him but wait, that's not him saying, hey, I want to settle because I just don't want the 9 or 10. He want the 9 or 10. He just don't want to be have to square up with another nigga because she a 9 or 10. That don't got nothing to do with her.
I don't want the 9 and 10. I want the woman that's right for me. I don't care if she's a 9 or 10. So
Hey
Sir,
guys,
you know, sir, hell no, stop it. Just stop.
hey
Okay?
guys,
Listen, listen.
I
This
gotta go.
listen.
I gotta
that's just
jump.
one of the factors, Ocean.
I
All
can believe famous though.
right, go ahead,
I
go
believe him
ahead.
on that because I think there's two camps of
I like
guys. I
imperfect
think,
woman. I like imperfect woman. I'm sorry.
but I'm
How
saying
many
like I
women
think
you
there's
got
like
now?
two groups of guys. Definitely, I think what Miss O'Shoon's saying. There's a group of guys that that's what average because that's where they at. That's their only option. But you put some hot Hawaiian tropic models in front of them, they definitely going. But I
Yeah,
think
look,
there's
most.
groups
I
of
think.
guys like us
I,
that's looking at like quality base, where it's like, man, I want a female that, cute but has like good characteristics. So it might look average, but you're focused more on like what they bring to the table besides like beauty. You're not shallow. We're not on that superficial shit.
I've seen men leave their wives for a chick that look better to them and lose their whole family. because of looks on a chick. I've seen that in my own
Oh yeah,
two
Yeah, they
that's
eyes
true
left
too.
it.
That's
several
what I'm saying.
times.
They
So
left
both
it.
of
I
them
So
seen
like
here's
it
the thing.
too. They
That's a
left
lesser
it.
talked about. That's a lesser talked about issue within our community when we look at divorced couples, especially older couples, right? And couples around my age and stuff like that. We see that a lot of times when you really get into people's personal explanations, you start seeing how the dude. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it wasn't always about, well, she just was just wrong for me. It was just, yo, he got a type, and the girl that he was with wasn't his type. She a placeholder, or she wasn't his type, and he fell for some shit that was pretty. Like the fuck that happens too on the male side, which is why I don't put men over women when it comes to the dissolving of a relationship. Like I don't give a fuck who got the money to go to the courthouse. Like nobody really cares about that. But what I care about is how did the relationship actually end? Did it end because women are all cheating? Did it end because men are all putting their hands on people? No, it ain't because of that. It's a 50-50 split down this bitch.
So what you're saying is the way it started, the way it ended is the same thing, not because they settled, but because of a choice. I don't like that word settling. People chose, people made a deal, they went in. Responsibility. It's a choice. Nobody settles because you chose that person and you did it. Now you have another option. You could choose to stay, but you chose that other person, that other option. It's a choice. But hey, I gotta
Well,
go.
sure, it's only a choice when you got options. If you don't got no options, you settle.
But you chose to settle. Still a choice.
No, you didn't have to settle with nobody.
Choice.
Oh, okay, I
It's
see what
still a
you're saying. I see
choice.
what you're saying. Okay,
But
You know
I
what I'm
see.
but
saying?
I'm
It's a
saying
choice. There's
It's
no
still a choice to
victim.
some
so.
degree. I see.
So what if you have the options and you still
I see.
pick a 5 or 6? Then what?
Okay, have you dated? I think all of us, all the men here,
Okay.
dated models, and I was a model. I would never date a model in my life. That is the most. I don't see how people
No, but
could date those
I asked her.
humans. I
So
will
if you have
never.
the options and you still go for the 5, then what? Is that
Yeah,
settling? Because you can get more
that's not
options.
settling because I choose. Because I already
That's
had.
what I'm trying to say.
I
If
had
you
the
have the options
experience.
and you still date a 5 or 6, is that settling now? Because you
No,
have the
because you know
options to date
why?
a 10.
Here's something. If the 5 and 6 can cook, you got me. If you don't cook, you ain't got me. I'm Haitian. I need food. Fuck a look. I need food. If you can't make no food, I gotta go. I'm going to cheat on you for a plate. Even my mom knew it. She's like, if a girl gave me a hamburger, I'm going to give it up. So like, no.
Famous.
It's like,
To answer your question, nah, I don't think it's settling, man. I think honestly, you know, the concept of settling, I think is stupid altogether. Because think about
That's
it.
what I'm
Say
trying to
like
say. I'm just saying.
you had great
She's talking about
options to
people
begin with.
that have no options. I'm saying if you have the options and you choose a 5 or 6, is that settling? It can't be.
I would say no.
That's what I'm trying to say. She's saying it's settling.
I deal in reality, and the numbers that's coming out of statistics when it comes to dating pool right now is not showing that a lot of people, even by half, got choices. Period, male or female.
But men are more realistic, though. That's what I'm trying to say. Men are more realistic. They'll
Realistic is realistic is in your results. That's all I'll say.
oh shoot.
That's all I'd say. It's in your results.
Well,
That's
I'm
it.
gonna give you some
But the
pushback.
thing is, if everybody had the perfect girl to choose from, they're gonna pick the perfect girl to choose from. I'm just saying, men are realistic in their choices and their options. Women are not.
Don't say women don't say women are not, because if I broke down the logic of trying to even make a choice between a man that's well off that looks well and a man that's not well off that don't look well, that goes against every wiring that a female human or not has, because she has to ensure the survival of her child. That's her first priority. So she can't prioritize your personality over your income for real. Like don't say, well, men are doing this more than women. They're more virtuous than women. No, that's not how it is when you look at the brass tacks of nature. Nature says for a woman to be concerned about your personality means she got a lot of resources that probably came down to her from her father or her brothers. But if she don't got resources and she's struggling just like you, she ain't wired to sit and deal with you based on your personality. She there to based on her survival and those children's survival that she would have from you. So don't say men are more realistic. Women, technically, when it comes to truth be told, what's more realistic? Nature says women are more realistic when they aim for the top 5 to 10%. That's more realistic. Aiming for what's better, not what's worse. Like, don't
Yeah,
aim
but
for the lesser, aim
but
for the
making,
top.
but no, but you still got to be realistic in choosing a provider too. Telling you what somebody that makes $1 million or 10 million a month, that's not being realistic.
I never heard anybody even say that. So what
I
you're
heard a
talking
woman.
about, an
I can send
outlier.
you. There's a bunch of women that say that.
Listen.
Listen. I seen a woman take a penis from a horse. That's not the average woman out here. So let's not do the outlier thing.
No, a lot of them say that now. You have to. You're crazy
I've
right now.
never heard it, and I'm a woman. I'm a woman, and I've never heard that.
No, they say
I
it.
have never heard. What I've heard is if a millionaire, she need her man to be that plus, because that's natural. If a woman
No,
makes 30K, she need her dude to make that plus, because that's
no, no,
natural.
no.
But
That's not.
for a woman to make 30K a year, right, and she has no skills, all right, she don't, and she average looking, and she don't have nothing over nothing, right? For her to come and say, I need a man making $10 million, you know she got emotional and psychological issues. You know
And
that.
that's a lot of
So
them.
it's like I'm not. That's not a lot. That's not even by half. Okay, and I don't care
There's
about
women that
30%.
have nothing that demand millionaires.
And there's a lot of we people that's bipolar disease too. Like, seriously, it is. Like, I don't care about a woman that can say, hey, I want to go to the moon and I want to go there without a spaceship and I'm gonna do it. Like, if 15% of women think like that, then you can assume 15% of women have more than, let's say, choosing issues going on in their life. You already know that. They a little touched. You know that. So let's not act like, let's say 60%, and this is true, 60% of Americans are on some sort of psychological sedative. 60% of Americans. So don't tell me when people say these astronomical things, it don't dawn on you that there might be a little something wrong with them for real. Because nobody that knows anything about money sits and says something as preposterous as $10 million and you can't hardly break 30,000, meaning that you have no skills and nothing to offer anybody, period. Like, that's not do that.
There is
If
a
you
large
ask women what they, go ahead, Russ.
there is a large percentage of women seeking, maybe not a millionaire, but they
No, a
may
millionaire, Russ. You come on, bro.
they
They made a whole
may
delusional
they may,
calculator for women, and they all choose the same thing. This is, come on, man. And it's like a top
Okay,
no,
1% man.
Jerk. Hey,
real
Jerk,
quick,
you
brother,
remember
like,
that panel that Bruiser had,
see,
Jerk,
let me
where
finish.
he had the men choosing? Remember that,
Yeah,
Jerk?
yeah.
And you remember what they chose, right? After all that settling, right? You remember what they chose, right? Yeah, that's real life for you. Yep, that right there.
Listen, yo, a chick could be making, I say, like 40,000 a year, right? She'll probably seek the dude that makes 100 or 150. These are the things that she's saying. We don't know if she has the capability of bagging that type of dude, but she's aiming for that. And a lot of times when
Okay.
they aim for a dude, that type of male archetype, they ignore the average male. You know what I mean? This is what's going on now. You know what I mean? So
But
I'm
not
gonna
just
Say that one more
financially, right?
time.
on that end. You know what I mean?
Say that one more time, Rush.
Now, like your average chick that's probably making 40,000 a year, she'll seek a dude or proclaim to seek a guy that makes 100 to 150,000 a year, which is unrealistic because sometimes her aesthetics doesn't meet that kind of qualification. There is a large percentage of females seeking that kind of male that has that high level of socioeconomic status. You know what I mean? And this is what's
I
going
think
on
what you
now.
said
Like,
is key. I think what you said is key about proclamation. If you can proclaim that you're looking for a guy that makes 100K, but if you tell me you make 30K, right? That tell me that in your daily walk, you're not even around men that make 100K, and 100K ain't shit. I make over 100K. That ain't shit. Okay, seriously. Like, if you want somebody making 100 and something K, I'm like, oh, you want an average person living in an average house. That's what you want? Okay, fine. But why is it that you don't see those type of men every day? But you're saying that you want those type of men, meaning they not in your class, they not in your work, they not in your neighborhood, they not in your social circle. So what do you mean you looking for them? You ain't looking for shit. The people looking for people that can make a certain amount means that that's in your circle. Again, you can be the type of chick all day long that proclaim that you want Prince Charming, right? But if you live in Peasantville and you look like a peasant and you don't know nobody but peasants, you can say you want Prince Charming, but I guess it feels good in the moment. But in reality, like, I don't need to waste my time thinking that your issue is you can't find Prince Charming.
I'm
No,
gonna give you
you
some
got
more
lots of
But
pushback.
issues.
that's the
I'm gonna give
point.
you
They're
some more
delusional.
pushback. I'm gonna give you some more pushback. These average chicks that quote unquote peasants and all that, they have access to these kind of guys through Instagram. I mean, social media and all
Why?
that.
How do you say
So
that? Why social
because
media?
The
yeah,
average chick is
I
the
mean,
average
the
chick can have
average
sex
chick
with
with
Drake.
DMs from these ball players, these scammers, these rappers and all that. Know what I mean? And they may get they may get their backs broken in, but that's it. Ain't gonna be no real type of relationship because you just a pump and dump, a cum dumpster. Know what I
Okay,
mean?
so
And
I
that's
think
why
what you
they will overlook
okay.
the average dude soon. That's what we talking
Well,
about.
it's easy to overlook average when you have above average in your face. It's just easy to do that.
But that's
But here's the
delusional.
thing, guys. But hold on, stop. Here's the thing, right? Social media changes mating. It just on its face because the average, the way you mate, right, is from your social group. That's who you mate through your social group. If your social group is everybody on the planet at any given time, this right here disrupts all of what we understand for the last 6,000 years of human habitation with each other, period. So I can't sit and say this is how women are when you have artificial circumstances affecting their behavior. Social media allows you to see a lot of pretty women that's on a lot of different levels, and you get to choose which one you want to have a conversation with. And you do that without their permission, literally without their permission. You don't need a woman permission to just get in her DM, but to walk up to her and have a full-on conversation, you definitely need her permission. So I would say when it comes to social media, you can't use that and say, well, this is how women are. It's like social media is changing how men are, how women are, how children act. Like it's changing a lot.
But it's not making men delusional. They don't think they can have a chance with Rihanna. These women actually think they have a chance to be in a relationship with Drake. That's what I'm trying to say.
What's the percentage of male suicide rate now that social media is a thing versus 40 years ago? What's the difference between that rate today and 40 years ago?
It's higher, but I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well, you see, that's what I'm saying. You don't even know how that factors in or why that factors in, but it definitely does. And we don't have to discuss it here. But what I'm saying is social media affects men both positively in some sense and negatively in other senses. It's across the board.
Yeah, we know that, but we talk about delusional, not how it affects men
You
otherwise. We
don't,
talk about
so you think social media makes men more logical? That's what you think?
I say more logical. I said we the same. We're not delusional. Like we don't
Okay,
think we
so
can
I'm
get with
sorry.
Rihanna.
Let me rephrase. You think that social media has had no effect on men?
No, it has effect on everybody. But I'm saying delusional.
Okay,
Men don't
so
think. Listen,
okay,
men don't
all
think
right,
they can get with Rihanna. Women think
okay.
they can get with Drake in a relationship. Men don't think we can have a relationship with Rihanna. We don't think that.
You know why you don't think that?
Because we're not delusional. That's why.
Answer the question. Why don't you think you can get with Rihanna? Be honest.
Because I'm not delusional.
I asked you to explain it. Don't just keep repeating the same word because
That's
that means you're
that's
repeating.
the answer. Because we're not delusional. It's realistic. I'm being realistic.
I'm
I know.
asking you to hold on, sir. If you can't explain what you're saying, that means you don't know what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. You're overcomplicating it. That's basically it.
I'm
We're
not
not. We're realistic.
overcomplicating.
Yes,
I'm
you do.
not
You're overcomplicating
overcomplicating.
everything
So
you say.
for conversation's sake, we don't think we can link up with Rihanna because we're not on the same socioeconomic status as us. So we're not even gonna even imagine that.
Okay, so
I
now we're
mean,
getting somewhere. So
yeah,
thank you, Rush, for saying that. So you're
It's the
saying
same
that
thing. We're
men.
realistic.
No, okay, sir, stop talking because I gave you a chance to explain. You didn't want to.
He
So
said the
let me.
same
So
thing.
now that, you're not saying the same thing. You're just
It's
saying
the
we're
same
not
exact
delusional.
thing.
that's your opinion. But if you can't say what it is, then that's just your
That's what it
opinion.
is.
What Rush just said is we don't think we're on her sociological level. What he just did is he just said naturally, it don't matter
We're not
about money.
delusional.
Naturally, a woman needs a man at her level or above. And if you know you don't meet that, right? Naturally, she has no reason to pay attention to you. Therefore, you are beneath an average man to her. Because naturally, women, no matter what their sociological economic status is, they need what they are or above. So this is what that is. However, on the flip end, women don't need to meet men sociologically or financially to be in their circle and be part of the club. That's just not the dynamics. So when you say,
That's
well,
the
we're not
point.
delusional, what you're saying is men and women should think the same. And because we don't think the same, I'm taking the position that the way we think is just better, when in fact women are not supposed to operate with men in the same way men operate with women. So to say, well, who is delusional, you have to be speaking between different men, not men to women.
No, you just said a bunch of nothing. Listen, you just said everything just to say we are realistic. Being delusional is saying I'm not on the same economic level as Rihanna, but I still think I can get her. Women think that. That's the equivalent of what women do.
Let me ask you something. That girl that Shaq was for, right? Why is it that she don't feel like she doesn't deserve Shaq? Why she don't feel?
Wait, I can't hear it. It broke up, Rush.
I'm
Yeah, yo,
saying, can you hear me?
you gotta
I
repeat
can
what
hear
you
you.
Can you hear me?
because we didn't catch what you said. We can hear
Yeah,
you now.
I didn't hear it.
Can you
It's breaking up.
hear me, Rush?
I can hear you now, but I think
It was,
you're
it was,
having a
it
bad
was
connection.
yeah, it's breaking up. I'm gonna go in and go back in, Russ. I'm gonna come in and go back.
No, you good, Rob. Like I think
Can you hear me, Rush?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying is I making probably 20K didn't feel like she wasn't on his sociological, economic level, so she couldn't get with him. Why is it that she didn't feel the same way that you would feel about Rihanna, right? Why y'all don't have the same feelings when it comes to dealing with people outside y'all sociological and financial let's say stratosphere? Because the difference between men and women is women can be poor and still qualify for a millionaire or a trillionaire. Men, on the other hand, can't be poor and still qualify for a millionaire, trillionaire woman because the dynamics is different. So to say
That's true.
men are more realistic because they can't operate like women, that don't make no sense. They're not supposed to operate like women. Like they're
No,
just not supposed to. They're
no,
not
you're right.
expected to either.
No, you're right about that. I'm just saying the average woman is not going to date a millionaire. That's being delusional. You're not going to get a
I,
millionaire.
I,
I don't
I,
care.
I was not. I'm okay, sir. I'm not trying to conversate with you if you don't want to keep up with the context that I'm speaking of, right? Because right now I'm not talking about what women do not act
Things,
the
bro.
same in the same scenario. That's why I
We talk about
mentioned
being
Shaq
delusional.
with a girl.
We talk about
No,
being
no,
delusional.
no. You're not keeping up with what I'm saying in the context. And I can't keep going in a circle with you. I'm telling you, right, that when you say who is delusional and who is not delusional, what you cannot do is say decisions that a man would make, right? When a woman don't make those same decisions from the same position, that the woman or man is being delusional, because it's like comparing apples to oranges and saying, well, one is better than the other one. You can't do that. You have to compare amongst itself. So if you want to say, right, the difference between logical women and delusional women, I can understand that argument. But to say that because a man wouldn't want to get with Rihanna and that makes him logical, but when a woman wants to get with a celebrity, that makes her illogical, it's like that's not how the dynamics are set up between men and women.
Here's the thing.
It's the functional equivalent.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Here's the thing. What famous is saying, right? The chick that's not aesthetically inclined, she believes that she can still bag that ball player, but aesthetically, she's not on that level where she can actually bag a ball player. That's what he's saying. I mean,
That's delusional.
and a lot of these chicks that look average, they think that they could link up with the next
No, below
Drake
average.
or the
A one
next,
thing
star athlete.
she's
You know what I
marrying
mean?
Drake. That's delusional.
So here's the problem that I have with what you're saying. In one breath, you saying that rich men date and they want these average looking women, right? But then in the next breath, you're saying these average.
I can't hear what she's saying, bro.
Lola, you're breaking up. But
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. I can hear you now.
I'm saying that my issue is that if you're saying that rich men seek average looking women, period,
No,
that's
I
what
didn't
they
say all
want.
rich men. I didn't say all rich men.
Okay, so, sir, when I tried to tell you it's not all, you didn't want to accept that. So let me just speak for right now, okay? If you're gonna say that rich men want average women, they choose average women, no matter what they want, they choose average women. You can't turn around and say these average women are delusional for wanting rich men. Like, how does that work?
Well, I didn't say all men. I said some. I'm just using an example that they do choose those women, and that's not settling. That's a whole different conversation.
Why is it that when it comes to women, you like to say women do this, but when I speak about men, you want to personify it as some versus all, and you want to put the percentages on it, but you don't do that when you speak about women.
I'm not saying all women because all women are not delusional. I'm just saying most women.
Most women are delusional. Have you dealt with most women?
No, come on now. No.
I mean, have you had do you do work where you come in contact with a large part of the population?
No, that's none of us. None of us do. So that means we can't have a conversation. If that's the case.
Well, what I'm saying is a lot of people can't have certain conversations. You're right. But the problem is it's very clear when somebody can't have a conversation. Because when you start talking about certain things and you don't have the experience to sit and say what most it do in terms of population wise, it's like I know that you're getting your information from the same Google source as everybody else. And that is not a way to come into a conversation, let's say authentically. I'll tell you this. When I spoke to you and I told you, hey, I'm a woman, and I have heard from men intimately why they don't want a certain type, like on the pillow, okay? Like for real, this is what men are telling me, multiple men in the privacy of my home. So when they're speaking to me, they might not ever say that to other men. But when they said it to me, that was in the comfort and the privacy of me and them. So I can tell you with authenticity that the reason why men purposely have a choice, but they don't choose nines and tens is because not because of the woman per se, but because of other things that come associated when you have a pretty woman and you're walking around men that want the same woman as you. So it's
Yeah,
like,
you
I
do
say
catch
that.
a lot of negative energy when you're dealing with a dime piece. We expounded on this on my last stream about
Yeah, we talked about
how
that in
most
the
dudes,
last
yeah,
thing.
how most dudes
Which
don't
is
want to
what we
deal with a dime piece because it comes with a lot of drama. You know what I mean? You know, she might be dealing with a psycho simp. You know what I mean? The psycho simp might want to come fight you now, or might, you know what I mean, cause some problems because he can't get over the fact that, you know what I mean, his chick want you. You know what I mean? So yeah, these things that it comes with dealing with, dime pieces, man. Like a lot of negative energy comes with that. I mean,
Well, I will say this, right. I've seen that a lot, so I'm not going to deny that that exists, but that's not something that, like you said, the simp, right? It's not so much the simp. You can be with your girlfriend or your wife,
not just
and
hold
you're
on, not
in.
just, Oshun, not just a regular simp. We talking about psycho simps. A lot of times, a dime piece got a psycho simp attached to them. Whether she's like
No,
sleeping
no.
with, yes, I'm telling you.
No, I got you. No, I'm not saying no as in to negate you. I'm saying no as in it's not just the psycho simp. You can be at a club at the market, walking down the street, at a music festival. And if dudes see you, right, and they don't think that they can take you, I'm sorry, they think they can take you, and they see you with a girl that they don't think you deserve, they will approach you just to test you. They will do some slick shit to her just to see what you gonna do, because at the end of the day, men rank each other amongst each other. And if they think that they better than you, they think they deserve the shit you got.
Yeah,
Period.
that's another
So
factor.
it's that's
another
not, but
factor,
that's
yeah.
not a but Rush, that's not an issue of the average psycho simp that's sitting around waiting to cuff a chick for whatever reason. That's not what that is. That's just the way men are. But you notice how when I speak about the nature of men, nobody wants to commentate on that, but everybody wants to commentate on these small circles of men that have these negative traits versus dealing with the majority of the culture. The majority of the culture says pretty women come with a lot of attraction from men. And if you're not man enough to manage that, and I mean all of that, meaning if you got to punch a nigga in the face, okay, or every day, if you ain't man enough to deal with what come from other men from that,
See,
forget her, you shouldn't be dealing with it.
You can't do it like that, Oshun, man. Because it's like, yo, it's the woman's responsibility to be modest.
To do
You know
what?
I mean, don't put yourself in a position where it's going to attract that. Hey,
what do you define as modest? What do you define as modest?
Yo, don't wear skimpy clothes. You know what I mean? Act accordingly when you with me. You know what I mean? But this is why most dudes.
I wish I could call my exes up just to show you, just to let them tell you some of the stories I have been in with some of these dudes. And I am one of the most conservative dressers that you'll find on somebody my age. And I can tell you, we've been in some weird ass situations that they had nothing to do with how I dress.
That's just one factor, Oshun. It's multiple things, you know. That can,
listen, what you're trying to say is she got to be perfect, right? As if he don't have the same issue.
That's not what I'm saying.
No. If a girl is pretty, just because she's pretty, she's gonna get attraction. Not because how she dressed, not because of what she's saying or doing. The fact that she's pretty, she don't even need to be in a real space. She could just have her picture someplace and nothing else, just her face. Yeah, she's gonna get attracted.
Hold on, Oshun. You got to factor in women that's highly attractive. They are very self-centered too. I mean, so they're not going to go out their way to. They're not going to go out the way. They're not going to go out their way to be modest to make the relationship feasible. That's why they end up just being a pump and dump. You know what I mean?
That's after the fact, Rush. If you get with a chick who is self-centered because she's pretty, you get with her and now you got to choose between being with her and choosing something else that look a little different. You got a problem too if you choose that, and now that's your issue. Men that can see that on the surface don't deal with that on periods for that to be their problem. So this is what I'm saying. If you have a girl that you are attracted to, you and that girl have a good relationship, and she just so happened to be extra pretty, right? Most men deal with the issue of what comes with having an attractive mate, which has nothing to do with her. It has everything to do with other people that will test your patience because they really don't think you deserve what you have. You can sit and say, well, if a woman is dressed inappropriately, an ugly bitch can be dressed inappropriately, but most men ain't gonna sit and say, I mean, I don't want a 4 or 5 because she got so many niggas that's gonna be up on her. That ain't what that is. So it's like, no, we're not going to sit and be hyperbolic about, well, men only want pretty women that dress provocatively. I can go to the Middle East and show you some shit that'll blow your mind. Okay, seriously.
Yeah, I mean that's that's just my perspective on that. I mean, like it's just a headache, man. You know, like it's cool.
But it's a headache because of what your brethren did.
Let me finish. Oh, shoot, let me finish. Listen, like it's cool to play around with a dime piece, man, but for the long haul, nah, I'm not wifing it out. You know what I mean, it's just a temporary thing, you know, and that's just my. And most dudes from our demographic feel the same way that I feel, man. You know what I mean.
No, most dudes don't have the capability of managing other men. That's what that's about. It's not because of her. It's just because they don't have the capability of managing other men, and they don't feel like they have, let's say, the social clout to manage other men.
And to be honest, though, most men go after the average chick. So the average chick get probably more attention than a dime piece because they're scared to approach the dime piece.
That's what you think.
That's a fact. They'll go after. They'll
Well,
go if
that might
you
be.
have a group
That
of
might
friends. If you have a group of
Also, it
friends,
depends on the setting. It depends on the setting. Also.
Sir,
yeah. If you
all
have
I
a group
know
of
is
friends, they don't go after the
I'll
baddest.
say this. I'll say this, right? I took my nephew to Atlanta to one of the to a meetup. It wasn't a manosphere meetup, but it was some men there that people know in the manosphere. It was a meetup, but I took my nephew there because he needed to be around some other men. And when I walked in, it was about 2 other women in the room already. It was about 20 people. As soon as I walked in, the man who felt like he was the alpha ran over and was laying it on thick. Okay. And I mean, laying it on thick, didn't give a fuck if I was in a relationship or not. Ain't care who my nephew was, none of that shit. And everybody noticed, like, damn, like, yo, you feel like you got first dibs on the pretty chick because you feel like you the alpha. That's how most men act, especially in a group. So when you say most men don't go for the pretty chick, no, the alpha men that got their choice in women go for what they want. The men that don't or can't don't. That's how that is. And I'm sorry, but I can pull up more videos to demonstrate that than a little bit. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is a reality.
Yeah, we know that though.
If you know that, then you should know better than to say, well, we don't want pretty women. It's not that you don't want
No, but
pretty
we said
women.
we
It's
know
just that
that most men, but most men are not alpha
there's a
men.
reality around it.
When
But didn't
we
I
talk
tell
about the
you what
average.
you want? But sir, didn't I ask you before, what's the difference between what you want and what you're gonna settle for? And you didn't want to define that. And I told you that what you want is one thing. What you're gonna accept is something else based on other things.
Yeah, but that's
I said
irrelevant.
that. That's not irrelevant because if you just said we understand what you're saying, then what you understand is
That's not. You're
relevant.
talking about, but we're talking. We talk about the average man though. We said the average man is going to go after the average woman. They're
We're
not going
not
to go after
actually
the.
talking about that.
Yeah, and you just said it. You just said most men wouldn't go after the baddest chick.
We're
Only
not.
the alpha men. That's what I said.
We're not just talking about the average man because honestly, average men don't
No,
want
you
to talk
said
about.
no. You said the alpha man. But you just said what I said. You just complicate things and you talk in circles. The average. You said the alpha man is going to
Okay,
go after the
don't
baddest chick.
hold
Right.
on.
That's what.
Don't be hyperbolic when you speak because you can speak to what I'm saying, but you don't have to be hyperbolic to say well, what you're saying is this and this and that because there's other people that's in the audience, right? That might not agree with you, but you're insulting more than just me. And honestly, there's no need for that. I'm not telling you what you don't know, right? So if you know something, then you know something. But what I'm expressing to you and Rush and to the larger audience at large is that we're not talking about just average men. Because when I came in here, right, we were talking about Janae Aiko and this dude, Big Sean. And underneath of this conversation is, did she get with an alpha dude or a beta? That's what's underskirting this. Because now that she ain't with him, right, her value to an alpha is now gone down. So what we're not talking about, sir, is average men. That's not what we're talking about. We just have to speak about average men because we're talking about above average men. And above average men, right, like you said, and I agree with you, they pick average women. So therefore, it's stupid to say average women don't make sense wanting above average men when that is the couple that you seem to think makes the best match. Like they match together, right? So therefore, if they match together, then they match together. There's nothing wrong with a woman wanting an above average man because men want women beneath them, truth be told.
No, but
So it's like, come on, what
not
are we
the problem.
talking about?
Wanting above average man. They want a man that doesn't exist.
Oh, now we're moving that goalpost. Okay.
It's not
I
average
thought we
man.
were talking about
They
millionaires.
don't want an above. They don't just want an above average man.
I thought we were talking about millionaires.
No, they want no. That's just one aspect. Millionaires over 6 feet. There's a bunch of stuff that go with it, and they could be twos. It's not just they could be twos and think they're gonna have that. They're not gonna have that.
Well, I'll
It's
say
not.
this. If you're a woman in Maryland and DC and Virginia, right, and you're just walking around, you're more liable to just run into let's say an above average height man that just so happens to be a millionaire, because we have more than a third of the country's millionaires just concentrated in this small ass area right here, just
There's
because
not
of
enough of
the
them for the
nation's
world.
capital. So what I'm saying is a average woman in Maryland, for instance, and Washington, will probably be able to run into these men walking on the street, not even in no social circle, just walking in the street. You'll
Not
probably
all of
run
them.
into them.
Not
So
not
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, sir, because I'm not negating you, but I need you to understand something that maybe you don't know because you're not in that position. If you live in a place where the average man makes 100K and the above average man, right, is the top 10%, right, and it's not even top 10%, it's more like top 30%. You're in an area where most of them is concentrated at. Naturally, you're going to run into them. So therefore, it's not to say that your looks got you where you was at. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes, sure. But in reality, if that's not your already given social circle, for you to say that's what you want, most people know when you say that, I know that that's not what you really deserve, because you're saying something that doesn't make sense to your own worldview. And that's why I went back to you and I was talking about the women that have that access, right? Like inside of their circles, their social circles, versus the women that say, I make 30K working at Walmart and I want a man making $10 trillion a year. It's like, you already know when they say that something's a little off, because it doesn't make physical sense to want something you've never experienced.
So
Only
you're
the
saying they're
fact that it's
delusional
just
too.
money.
You're saying the same thing. So you're saying they're delusional too.
No, I'm not saying women in general are
Not
delusional.
in
I'm not
I'm
saying,
not saying in general. You're saying those women are delusional.
and I also told you I'm a woman and I've never heard a woman speak that way. I've also heard women say that, hey, I just want a man that makes what I make or above. And that's natural. Every
Yeah,
woman
there's
wants that.
women like that. There's women like that.
That's not delusional. That's not delusional, sir.
No,
It's
that's
not.
not delusional. The woman
It's
that's
not
a
delusional.
two. There's the woman that's a two that makes 30,000 that wants a millionaire. That's delusional.
She can be a 2 and get a millionaire depending on her social circle.
Oh my God, that
She
that's
can
I
be.
delusional.
And
doubt it.
I know you've
I
seen it.
doubt
I
it.
know you've seen it.
And if that oh, soon if that happens, she'll only be used for a cum dumpster. That's it. He's not gonna,
Let me
Right.
ask you
take the
something.
What's the
Omari
chances of that
Hardwick.
happening? That's the problem. What's the chances
Hey,
of that happening?
Rush, you know who Omari Hardwick is, right?
uh yeah.
The dude who played the main character in Power, him, the handsome guy, him, you know, the
Yeah,
millionaire,
oh
him.
boy, yeah.
Right. You know who his wife is, right?
I think he's married to a white chick. I forgot her name, but
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know what she looks
You've
like.
yeah, she
seen
is.
her, right? You
Yeah,
seen her, right? You
yeah.
seen her, right? Most people, he had to defend her against social media when people found out who he was married to. And you already know why, without us being disrespectful, why people was going in on her, right? But he felt like, hey, that's the best woman for me. And I'm going to be honest with you, giving her a 3 is a good date because she looks more mannish than not. So I'm just saying, when I say, well, a woman who's a 2 can get a millionaire if it's in her
Not
social
every.
circle to do that, then that right there should let you know it's not so much
Nah,
about what you
see the
want,
That's
difference.
the
it's
outlier.
about the
You can't.
The
reality.
difference.
The exception doesn't make the
Oshun.
rule.
The difference is between Omari Hardwick married to that lady that's physically not appealing as other females, is because she's been around from the beginning. A lot of times, the
No,
average
it
looking
ain't
chick
just about she's been around from the beginning, and he didn't know her when he was a
on.
kid back in the day. That's not it. Okay, stop it. I've seen the story between them. That's not it. But what you're trying to say is I'm trying to equate their personal circumstance, right, to the average woman, which I'm not. I'm making a definitive statement, which is
Okay.
no matter what your number is in terms of your attractive value, right? If a man likes a woman for a woman, her other qualities, depending on the social circle that you are in naturally, right? You're going to find yourself around these type of men. So in every social circle, you got 1s, 2s, 3s, all the way up to 10 in every social circle. So this is what I mean by It's not just about you looking good or you saying you want a millionaire or don't want a millionaire. She said she wanted a man that could take care of her. And look what she got. And definitely she ain't no motherfucking 3. So let's be clear about something, okay? He had to see her first before walking over to her to figure out if she was more than a bitch. So my thing is, even a 2, a 1 can get a man if she wants that. But it depends on her social circle.
Now that she won it, like that's you're bugging right now. For the majority of women don't have that social circle. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, sir. Let me slow it down for you, right? I'm saying no matter what your social circle is, right? No matter which one you find yourself in, as far as financially, right? There are women in each and every one of those groups that range from 1 to 10 in each and every one of those groups. And if you want a man, right, period, as a woman, you have access to men in each and every one of those groups. Now, the highest group, the millionaire to billionaire group, there's 1s, 2s, and 3s in that group too of women. It is. And they get chosen from the men in their group. And sometimes if you're a 1 or 2, sometimes you can get chosen from a man from a higher group. Look at Omari Hardwick's wife. Okay, seriously, sometimes that happens. But let's be clear about something. You want to harp on the minority, right? And then say, if we're not talking about the minorities, but you want to point to the minority of women talking about they work at Walmart and they want a trillionaire. But when I point to something that makes sense across any spectrum you can name, you say, well, that's the minority. That's not a minority. And if you really feel like you care about minorities, don't speak about minorities and women.
No,
just don't speak about
minority. I'm just talking about the average woman. They cannot get.
Okay,
they cannot get. They cannot get the. They cannot get the average woman. If that's the case, then why all these women don't have the millionaire right now? If they all have
I'm not trying to argue with you. You're saying that the average woman can't, right? And I can.
You said they could. And you saying they could.
Let me agree with you. The average woman can't get the average man. Cool. We know that, right? The average woman can't get the average man. So wait, the average woman can't get above average either, right?
Above average, no. They can get the average man.
Okay,
they can get the average man.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me walk it down. So the average woman only qualifies for below average men, correct?
They don't only qualify. Some women qualify for different. It all depends on the woman.
See, this is what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to demean your point, but when I'm trying to walk you down so that I can get some concreteness inside of what
you're just talking too much about nothing.
You're not doing that. Because I'm not disagreeing with you in some sense, right? I'm just letting you know there's context to what you're saying. So when you disagree with me and I'm just giving context to something, right? And I'm not making a point, that says you're not listening and you don't understand what you think you're listening to. So
but
when you say I'm talking
you never answer any question.
What question did you ask me?
If you said all these women have access to any guy they want, so why are all these women single? Why all of them don't have millionaires?
Okay,
yes,
okay. Rush, mute him so I can answer his question. Mute him so I can answer his question. Rush, mute him so I can answer his question.
Yo, Fame, just let her speak real quick.
She been speaking the whole time, bro. All she do is talk. And she's not making no sense. She was talking about a bunch of nothing.
Sir, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But trust me, I'm not up here because I talk in circles, and Rush can tell you. I'm not here because I talk in circles. So what I'm going to do is answer your question. First of all, I can't answer something that I didn't say. I never said every woman has access to every single type of everything, no matter what the case is, and on some arbitrary shit. That's not what I said. Sir, be quiet.
You said all women have access to these women if they want.
Real nasty, Rush. Like that's why I said, can you mute him so that I can speak, and then I can hear him when he want to speak. Can you do that?
You've been talking. All you do is been speaking. You've been speaking over everybody.
Okay, Rush. I don't want to deal with this for real. Like I got other shit that I can do. Like seriously, my son got a whole app that he's creating. I got business to take care of.
Well, you need to go work on that app then, because you don't make no sense.
If he can't listen, then there's no point.
Well, go make the app with your son, because that she don't make no sense, bro. She make no sense, and she can talk.
If I don't make okay. What's your name, Rob? If I don't make any sense, right, as a man, you should be able to hold your own and be quiet because other men will see that, right, and women too. So why don't you
Everybody's
do
been
yourself a
quiet this whole
favor, right?
time.
And
You just talking.
allow me to, you asked me a question, right? Did you not ask me a question?
And you didn't I asked you a bunch of questions. You ain't answered none of them. You just talking.
You asked me a question right now, right? And I was attempting to answer before you interrupted again.
That's a simple
Not
question. It
even
doesn't take a. It
not even
doesn't take a.
halfway.
It doesn't
And
take a.
you're correct.
It's a
You are
simple
correct.
question.
You did ask me a simple question, and you didn't even allow me to simply answer it.
You never
So why
answered
don't
any
you do
questions I
yourself a
asked.
favor? Okay, Rush, I ain't fucking with it if I can't answer a question and then be told I said some shit I didn't say and I can't even clarify. Like emotional people like that don't belong on a stage, and I don't got it like that. I'm a female and I can't deal with that.
Yo, just guys, be nice, all right? Just let her finish what she got to
Bro,
say.
all right.
Go ahead, Oshun. Go ahead. Answer the question.
So to answer the question, I'm not going to answer it anymore. Okay, like seriously, if you want to interrupt, you can interrupt at your own cost. And Rush, I'll see you on the flip side. I never said that any woman has equal access to any and everything. That doesn't make any sense. That's not what I said specifically. What I specifically said last is that in every social group, whether you be a millionaire, somewhere in the middle, or all the way at the bottom, there is 1 through 10 of women in every social group. No matter what social group you find yourself in, a woman, even a 1 or 2, evidenced by women that we can point to that are 1s and 2s that have found husbands, okay, that make pretty good money, and husbands that make the same amount of money they do, and husbands that make less than them. You can have a man. Thus, what I said, women have more access to sex than men. So that makes what the sense is in all that whole circle. However, a woman who is not on the level of, let's say, a Shaq, you see what I'm saying, or Oprah, right? She can be average looking and want that. She can want that. And there's a greater possibility that she's going to get that because men don't need a woman to operate like men would operate with women making that. Men will choose from women who make almost nothing, the same as if they would choose from women who make everything. That's not the dynamics between men and women. It's just not. So I disagree that a woman is delusional when she says, well, I want a millionaire. You can have a millionaire depending on your social circle. Because if you're an average woman to below average looking woman, right, your plight to get a millionaire is going to be real steep. However, the steeper it is the closer you need to be to that social circle, because men typically like to choose from women that they know, that they have access to. If a man has to reach out to you cold turkey, that right there is where we start seeing things that men typically don't like reaching out to a woman in her DM and then she just leave them on code red. Trying to talk to a woman online and she's just ghosting you because it's online and that's what people would fucking do and shit. That's the shit right there that makes it where still men like women in their own circles. So if you can find a woman in your own circle, no matter what her number is, you see what I'm saying? This right here, right, is how life is supposed to be. But life is still the way it's supposed to be. If a woman should want a man that makes $1 million and she makes 30K, she can want that, and there's a chance she could get that, but she might need to be closer to it if she wants her chances to be, a little higher than, 1 or 2%. But that's all that there is. But the disagreement is delusional is based on what's attainable. You
That's
can
not. That's
attain a
not.
millionaire making 30,000. You can, or you can attain a millionaire making $1 million. That is attainable. But when it comes to a
Oh my
man, that's a
god.
whole nother problem. That's a whole nother issue. And I'm not going to compare men to
Oh my
women when
god.
it comes to dating. That's not what I'm going to do. Now you can do that, and I respect your position on that, but that's not what I do.
Are you done?
Oh, Sean, he's about to speak, so he's about to give you a
That's not
rebuttal.
obtain. That's not obtainable for most women. You saying that's obtainable? No, it's not. That's what makes it delusional. It's not obtainable. There's not even enough of those men to go around.
Yo, we passed the hour mark, so I'm going ahead and kill this live. Yo, any last words?
Okay. Oh, sure.
Fame and Oshun.
Thanks, Russ, for having me on. It's always a pleasure, bro. You know where to find me at the Real Famous on IG, Sucker Free Shop. Go get your merch. One.
Oshun, you got any last words?
Um, as it pertains to the actual subject matter of tonight, when it comes to Big Sean and Janae Aiko, I think that their relationship is their business, right? In general. However, when they make their relationship public, knowing that they are public figures, this is the mistake that a lot of celebrities make. And they're not different from average people in terms of going through average human shit. They're not. But when they make that shit public, this is where the problems start. It's not where it ends, but it is where the problems start. I think she made a huge blunder to put her business in terms of marriage inside the public eye. I don't think nobody was really chasing her down to figure out what her marital status was when they could clearly see she's in a relationship. Like nobody's chasing her down. She's not an A-list celebrity like that. She's just not. And if she really wanted to have a relationship that was based on her connection with him, right? That's her right. She can do that. But when you realize, truth be told, that you were lying the whole time to go along and get along with a dude because you know that you was, you know what I mean, doing some other fuck shit. You see what I'm saying? Nobody can feel sorry for you, woman or not. And to be honest with you, like I get it. A lot of females are upset at Big Sean for the 10-year thing. Now, if it was like 2 years, nobody would care. But 10 years, that's a big chunk out of anybody's life, period. So this is where people's emotions are getting at. But I do think that the public's emotions about this is true. Everybody got a right to say, what the fuck is going on after 10 years? The hell on both sides. But I think she had a responsibility to keep her private life private, to keep whatever reason she had for dealing with him private. And that's why Beyonce and Jay-Z work so well, because you really don't know what the fuck is going on in their life. You see some things and you can wonder, but you don't know what the fuck is going on in their life because they're not about to tell you. You're going to have hire paparazzi before you find out some shit. And that I can respect no matter what's going on in their relationship. I can respect the fact that they both respect their privacy. And they don't do what Janae and this dude is doing, like having a public fiasco. So I agree that he didn't waste her time after the second year. She wasted her own time at the second year mark. But he definitely did do that, not taking that away from him. Trust me, he gonna get what he deserved. Trust me, he will. Everybody does. You know, you can't escape that. So that's why I don't worry about people that do fuck shit. It's like you do it to yourself. So I'll just say that I think it was a good build on the reality of these celebrities. But I think that we still have a lot to learn from celebrity relationships that might not necessarily teach us what we need to know in our everyday relationships because it's just too far fetched. But that's what I think about that.
Word. Thank you so much for coming through, Miss Oshun. Definitely, I need you on the next panel. You know what I mean? You make it a little
What you
spicy all
talking
the
about?
time.
What's the
Yo,
topic for the
you
next?
hella spicy, man. You stay being spicy on these panels, man.
I really am not. You better stop. I really am not. Okay, I'm really nice. You know that, Rush. You know that. Stop playing with me.
Yo, you could be nice when you want to be, but yo, you you don't ran everybody off the panel, man.
They got other shit to do. I get off from work. I'm saying, like, I got other things they doing.
Nah, but you know, I always enjoy having you, man. You definitely spice things up, man. You know, it's your
No
boy
problem.
Rush. Getting ready to sign out. Seek wisdom, practice humility, and always remain sucker free. Oshun, hit me up, man. We definitely gotta do this again.
I will.
All right, yo. One.